Good evening to all of my YouTube followers. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this evening. I'm saying it like I'm live because that's what I'm used to, going live on Facebook. But actually, it's a recorded video, and I told you all that this is the way that I will be having to go and share my content until I get 1,000 subscribers. First, I just want to say thank you all so much for subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm so excited about what's going to take place. I'm excited about being able to come to you all and give you all the content, as the title says, Healing to Help Heal 1122. And just to be able to just openly share my life and my journey, in which I've done all through the years on Facebook, except it was via live. And eventually I'll definitely be able to go live on my YouTube channel as well. So another huge thank you. Thank you all for so many that subscribed. Thank you all that, oh my goodness, I was excited about so many that shared my YouTube, or you all shared my Facebook page, and in which I was talking about the YouTube channel on last night. You all just shared it on your page, and I'm forever grateful for that. I'm so thankful, because when you share, then people on your page that I'm not even friends with, and your family and your followers, they'll get the option to decide if they just want to go in and subscribe as well. And I do know that, you know, the content is not for everybody. The channel is not for everybody. Just like I did my Facebook Lives many years ago about health and fitness. They were not for everybody. But trust me, they were for many folks. And I'm just excited about what's about to take place. And this is just the beginning. It is actually making me step out of my box a little bit. I used to go live all the time, and I used to share all the time. So this is kind of new for me. It's kind of, well, it's not really new. The channel is not new. Me going live is not new, but the content is new. I will say that. The journey is new. But I'm excited about what is about to transpire through this channel alone. I wanted to let you all know that I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me. Most of you all that subscribe know me. There's people that may not know me that I just want to share a little bit about who am I. That's what I want to start off with tonight, and give you a few minutes about who am I. So some of you already know, but some may not know. So I have to start off on this page or this channel with this, you know, kind of a little freshness for those of you that don't know. I'm just a woman who actually found my purpose in sharing my journey through a health and fitness movement. I was working locally at the school here at the time, co-teaching, and I lost a substantial amount of weight. And a lot of people began to see within this small community the success of me losing weight. And it opened up the door for me to share my journey with so many people. And as I began to start, I think I started a walking group first, a community walking group, and on our trail. And that was okay. It was pretty good. But then I began to run. I took up the lifestyle of running. And then I opened my heart up, and I was like, okay, let me do something different. Let me find something that I can do within this community that people will really like. Never knew and never thought that it would be a Zumba instructor. But I went and became a certified Zumba instructor one fall. I can't remember what year it was, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And through my ministry, and I'm grateful for that at the time, Victory Christian Center, they opened up the doors, and we were able to allow Zumba to be, I was able to instruct it, and it be a free class. And that's where my heart posture was definitely at. Being able to help those change their lives, transform their lives, health and fitness. It was the fun way. And in that class, I know we would see 40 plus in a class, sometimes more than that. And they came and they would have fun, and it was a huge community movement. And people began to just transform their lives the fun and fit way. And that movement was more than just a class. We built bonds. We changed each other's lives through our stories and our struggles of our addictions with food. And with that, we opened up. It opened up a way for a healthy fitness eating class, which I think it was. We entitled that "Beautiful" or "Be Full," and that was amazing. So much community support. I had a lot of people came on board who helped lead the classes. I had other instructors who came on and became certified, and we actually had just an amazing community movement. With that, I stepped out in entrepreneurship, and I began to promote a health and fitness supplement, in which I still take to this day. And I'm excited about re-promoting it, starting to promote it again in 2022. I want to share some things with that and how it has really helped me pull back from one of my darkest places. And it was through that supplement and some things they added through the years that helped me to regain my focus and my strength and desire to continue to move forward. So that's kind of who I am. That's how this whole thing began to start. My passion and my purpose started through my Facebook, through my Instagram, and somewhat a little bit through my YouTube. I never used, this is not my first time having a YouTube channel, but it's my first time having this type of content for this channel. That's why I started new. I had to start off with new subscribers. I titled it completely different because now the doors have been expanded for me to share my journeys in different ways and different lights. So that's why it's healing to help heal in 1122. Even on the health and fitness journey, it was all about healing your mind, figuring out why you ate the way you ate, figuring out your addictions, where they came from through your generations. Some of it is family, some of it is through your years of just learning that things were okay and how you accepted the way to eat. And in that movement, so many lives were changed and transformed still to this day. And I'm excited about that. And I tell you that when what's for you is for you, because it cannot be duplicated. It cannot be imitated and it cannot be duplicated. That's when you know that that is your purpose and that is what you've been called to do, because there's a certain way that only you can do what you've been called to do. So that's kind of who I am. I talked about being a Zumba instructor, starting a walking group. Within that Zumba time, we added light weights, and I had a lot of different sisters who would come in and assist me with helping those to learn how to take light weights and do 15-20 minutes once or twice a week to tone their muscles. So these are the things that I began to do and watch lives transpire. I had we did a couch to 5K classes, and then I coordinated a few very successful 5Ks here in our county. They had never had one before, and it was an amazing experience. I also am a former radio host here with the local community radio station WUBA 88.1 FM. Thank you, Kara Velasquez, you and your husband, for allowing me, I think, 3 years, in which I had a gig on that show once a week, and it was called A Dynamic Difference with Demetrius, in which I shared my truths and my journeys through becoming more healthier, and where I lost at one point almost 160 pounds. And not only did I share my experience with losing the weight, but also how to maintain it and to enjoy fitness. Anything you do that you enjoy, it's hard for somebody to take it away from you. So now we're on to how I got into the YouTube world and a YouTube channel. Basically, I knew that whenever I didn't share this part, August 2019, I even retired from the state of Florida, and I began to follow my dreams. I began to follow my dreams and to watch my visions unfold. And I retired here from the state of Florida, I think 20 something years, and then I went and relocated back to Atlanta, and had made some amazing connections with leaders there, a few folks that I had connected with through the years, and was excited about joining them in 2020 on a health and fitness movement in that city. Not just that city, probably worldwide, but definitely in that city. And just excited about watching people's lives just transform through our journeys and our experience. But lo and behold, that was August 2019, when you all know the story. November 2019 is when my whole world shifted. And my son was killed in a car accident, and that's where this path leads on to this time in this journey. When 11/2019 hit, of course, everything shifted, everything changed. So not only did I begin to change, things shifted in 11/19, and then they shifted again in 2022. So through so many different avenues, so many different turns, so many different experiences, my life shifted, broken to pieces. I mean, to pieces. And if you knew me before then, you knew what I was all about. I was the light. I never had to be recharged. It was a natural energy. So it was truly talents and gifts that I know that only God gave me to be able to do and share with people, probably 4 or 5 years prior to that, consistently. And that was to enjoy changing their lives through health and fitness. And it moved over into learning how to pick up mental strength and learning how to fight through the holiday temptations and the struggles, and learning how to fight back through the fallbacks, because I let them know on this journey you're going to have setbacks. And I've been on the health and fitness journey for 11 years. So, and my whole my greatest testimony is when I share with people how to come back. I let them know you're going to have fallbacks and setbacks, how to come back. And that's where people was intrigued with the transparency part, when I would share with them all of my downfalls and how I bounced back. Well, when 11/22/2019 hit, I had never had a setback like that ever in my life before. So now the challenge was a bit, it was more than I could have ever imagined, because you had 11 November 2019 hit. Then I went into January 2020. And that whole year, amazing experiences that was connected through pain after the pain, and things I had to process. I said it last night and I'll say it again. I'm forever grateful. At the time, I didn't understand it. At the time, I had really no clue what was going on. I had a lot of whys, a lot of why me's, a lot of what's really going on in my life, or a lot of things that really transpired that should have wiped me completely out, almost wiped me out, and some, I'm sure, through some stages of the process, did wipe me out mentally, definitely emotionally depleted, and physically depleted, spiritually depleted, all of them, and even financially depleted. So that was my 2020. And it was, I set out on a healing journey in 2021 that I had no clue was going to be as powerful as it has been. And it's December the 1st now. And I'm looking back like, oh my goodness. I knew in February of 2021 that I had to go on this journey. And when I began the journey to healing, I will say this, I never expected what I was going to, what I got. Because one thing I would tell you, when you begin to any type of healing, not managing a wound, not taking a wound or things that have hurt you and pushing them under the rug. But I'm talking about any type of healing that you go on and you're being intentional about your life and about your heart and about your mind and things that are very uncomfortable and you're confused and you don't understand some things in your life. When I began this journey after February 2021, I did not realize that I first had to look at myself and take responsibility. And that was not so much the hardest part, but it was the part that helped me the most, because I had to begin to deal with myself first and what was within me that allowed me to be able to hurt so bad from situations. Or how did I even stay connected or stay in these situations, or what made it hurt so bad? Or, what did I do? Because there are some things, whether we understand it intentionally or not, or even not even understanding how to even heal the wounds, or not even wanting to heal some of the wounds. All of that is our responsibility. And I'll say this throughout this journey, we may not be responsible for the wounds, but we're responsible for the healing. Especially if you're an adult. We may not be responsible for the things that have taken place in our lives, for the things that were intentional or were unintentional, or for the things that we experienced. We may not be responsible for the hurts and the wounds and the darts and the deposits, but we are responsible for taking our time in life and being intentional and to become whole. And what I found within myself is I found myself saying, oh my gosh, I get this. Now I understand this. So now that I know this, I'm responsible for this. And this will help me not only just heal, but it's going to help me to help others heal. I get this new journey that you want me to be on, because I've always been on this type of journey in my life, but I'm getting it now, because not only am I learning what I need to get out of this cycle, I won't have to go back through this kind of cycle ever again. Now, that's exactly what had happened. The things that I was experiencing in 2020, I had never experienced before. So I was blind to those things. I didn't know what red flags really were, because I never had to look for them in my whole entire life. So as I began to question myself and begin to understand the hurts and begin to understand things that were really going on in my life, really going on with my son's death, things that were going on with people that were connected to him as well, family that was connected, and people and friends that were connected to him. And there were so many misunderstandings, because he had made connections with folks that didn't know me, and he had opened up his heart and his passion and his hurts to them about our connections, and they were judging me. I'm talking about after the death. And then as I begin to take that journey in 2020 by myself, and I begin, or I begin to, go through some things in my life, and I begin to look, and I begin to do the work, and I begin to allow some things to, the hurts, the healing. I begin to, it was like opening, taking a blade and opening up a old wound that had not healed down under the skin, and just laying out the flesh and laying out the muscles and the tendons and saying, here it is. I mean, with no anesthesia. That's what it felt like. Maybe straight down my heart, just open it all out and saying, I need this to be fixed. And that's where I learned, just like I did when I researched a lot of things when I was going through the health and fitness movement. And I got epiphanies and downloads and understandings that I could share with people to help them heal. And I watch people really say, oh my God, I get this now. I understand why this is just emotional eating. And thank you for the tools and the tactics to help us to know how to get through these seasons and know how to either we're going to have to double work out, or we're just going to have to learn how to fight and battle these things. And this is how I can lower my A1C. This is how I can lower my blood pressures. And this is how I can lower my bad cholesterol. And they begin to see results through the things that I shared. This is when I knew that this channel was going to be powerful. I'll say it again, because I know that there is something on the inside that only have been given to me as a gift, not just a talent, a gift, an anointing to share with people to bring healing. So as I begin to go on the journey to heal the hurts, because I said, God, I never want to do what's been done to me. Never. I never want to treat folks the way I've been treated. And I'm not playing the victim. It's my journey, it's my story, and it's my truths. So as I begin to search the healing parts of my life to get rid of this hurt that I never even thought I could think like this as a Christian. I thought those days were gone. They're very much there. And this is why I love that book, for Forgiving What You Can't Forget, because she was so authentic and she told her truths about not wanting to forgive or thinking she had forgave, but she was angry all over again. So my thing is, that's what sent me on my journey to healing this part of my hurts that I didn't understand. And some of this stuff was connected to years and years ago. Even the decisions to stay in situations that I know was not healthy for me, that I know was not good for me, that I know was not okay for me, and accepting treatments that was not okay for me. That was not me. And I had to get out of the, oh my gosh, I'm so broken. My son just passed. Did they not care? I had to get out of that mode and say, let's figure out why you even got there in the first place. Even though you might have been so vulnerable and blindsided, let's figure out why it's hard for you to let this thing go. Let's work on that. Let's figure out why you are so angry. Let's figure that out. Let's figure out where this hurt is really coming from. And that's when I begin to heal. And that's when I begin to see and get a great understanding of why people do what they do, why they stay stuck, why they're 30, 40, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And don't even know where to even begin to start the healing process. They don't know how. They don't know where, when. Some people don't even want to. I was literally told, do you know I'm almost this age? Do you know how hard it is to change? These were some red flags that I kind of overlooked. And I was being sweet when I was making some suggestions. And I literally was told that by adults. People don't want to change. They're comfortable in that place. They're accepted by their inner circle and their few folks. They're accepted that way. Or the folks don't really know how they really are. Because I'm telling you, we can mask things amazingly. We mask things through money. We mask things through success. We mask things through whatever. We mask things through what we do. We mask things through performances. We mask things through positions. I'm telling you, you can be very successful and still be just as broken and very, very dangerous to folks and don't even realize it if you have no one that you are authentic enough with and transparent enough with to share your truths with, and they will love you enough to be able to reciprocate that back to you and let you see you. That's what I'm saying. And see, I will say to you about this channel, Healing to Help Heal. I have no problem with openly sharing with you the tools and the tactics that I used over the last 24 months, but especially this year. But what I'm excited about, and I'm looking at my time because I'm about to be finished. I only wanted to give you 15 minutes. And I shared with you who am I, my whys, and the purpose of this page. And the purpose of this channel, excuse me, I told you why I say page. But my greatest thing is as I set out on my path to healing, And I begin to watch things unfold in my life personally and in the lives of those that have always watched my live feeds. I've gotten messages. I've met with folks. I went to lunch with folks in 2021. I've shared my journey with folks that have called me, and I've been very open and transparent because that is what I'm called to be. Why do you think most people who people respect, love, honor, and they follow and trust are those who are very transparent? Now, my story is my story. My journey is my journey. My life is my life, and my experience is my experience, and my truth is my truth. Now, it's not my place to worry about who doesn't like it, who doesn't agree with it, and who doesn't care, and who doesn't understand it. That's not my place. My place is to be obedient and to trust God that he's called me to do this thing in such a time as this. I will forever pray that I never use names because that's not fair to those that are connected to me, that have been involved with the journey, especially the hurtful part. I am at liberty to share with you, and I'll say my son or something like that. That's because I'm at liberty to share that part. But I try my best to respect those who I have been connected with, who that they're not judged through the journey. Because what I had to learn, that hurting people do hurt people. What I had to learn, miserable people do try to make people miserable. That's why I began to cry out and scream out and beg the Lord to heal me. Because I'm a person who you've given a lot of responsibility in my lifetime. And I know that I'll be back on this journey again. And I want to be able to do that with wisdom and with tact and with character. Because one thing I can tell you, that's what led me to this level of healing. It's because I didn't like the way I felt. I didn't like the things that I was thinking. When you're in power, you have to be careful because people's lives are entrusted with you. People trust you just for your position. And that's what I told God. People have trusted me in my life. And I don't want to disappoint people. And he began to tell me, you're right. I chose you. Everything you went through from 2019 until the current, I chose you to go through these things. I allowed them because I knew that I could trust you to do the missions that would be connected to the journey. I chose you for the journey. I literally chose you, strategically handpicked you for the journeys because I knew that I could trust you to share your missions and do what I called you to do that would be connected to the journeys. So one thing I want to say, when I am used to help others heal, it's not to hurt folks that were connected. It is to help others heal, period. Now, again, I'm called to do and always have been called to do the very different thing. This is where I really begin to just praise God and get an understanding for this journey in my life. Okay? And as I began to go on my journey to healing, not only did I read books, I pray, I meditate. I learned the real power of sitting still for 30 minutes, quietly meditating. I learned what it was to be by myself again, to be alone. I learned what it was to begin to thirst for that feeling of doing what I needed to do for myself, for loving myself authentically, for desiring to travel by myself. I did that for years. And again, I was at an amazing place in my life in August 2019. I felt like I was at a peak. I really was. I was saying, oh my gosh, I think not that I didn't date, but I really didn't for years. And I'm like, I think I'm ready to just do this thing again. I want to live. I want to date. I want to be friend and hang out and go and do some things. I was already kind of getting out on my own and enjoying being out with my girlfriends or cousins or my sisters. But I'm like, okay, so I've had opportunities forever, 1,000. But let's just be friends. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm raising my kids. I'm making sure they're straight. But your kid's grown, baby. Okay, well, I'm chasing my dreams. I don't have time to really put any QT into